my goodness. Welcome to another edition of Treasure Tuesday. I am beyond words inspired right now because I am sitting here with the one and only Queen Mariana. That's how I address her because she is a queen. Before I introduce Mariana, I just want to say that this video is designed for you. If you are in a place of great anxiety, great depression, great challenge and struggle in your life and you don't think you can get out of it, I'm making this video, we're making this video to give you another possibility, an opening in your heart and in your mind. Mariana and I met actually in 2010 when Mariana was just graduating high school. And
yeah. I was 18 and I saw one of your videos and that immediately resonated with me from what I was doing, which is, typical therapy and seeing psychiatrists and going on medication. I was doing that for years.
For what? For what?
For my anxiety and for depression.
Yeah.
And I just felt completely lost. And then your video popped up. I was like, I'm gonna watch this. It looks interesting. And that's when I just contacted you and I said, okay, can you please help me? I don't know what else to do at this point. So
the reason I wanted to bring Mariana on here is because I hadn't seen Mariana in a few years. I think it was like 2 years since she came on the retreat with her mom actually, which was an amazing experience to have both Mariana and her mom there. And then I think a couple years went by and then we made plans to meet here in LA, and I couldn't believe, of course I could believe, but I was just in awe of seeing how she blossomed, how you just stepped into your true self with courage and clarity and confidence and authenticity more than anything. That's the most inspiring thing. What would you say to someone who is in a challenging place and like,
it's gonna be over before you know it. You're gonna be 23 and having drinks with your friends and laughing about those times. Oh my God, do you remember that one time when I had the anxiety talk in the grocery store and I just flipped out?
Or you said earlier like how you couldn't go in and buy the bananas. Or,
oh yeah. Oh, there's stories. But it's okay. Like I think one thing I would change if I did go back was to be easier on myself, because it's when you have an anxiety attack and all of a sudden you can't do the things that everyone else around you is doing, as simple as ordering a meal that chokes you up and you're anxious, you start to hate yourself and self-loathe. So that's one thing I would go back and tell myself, just be easier on yourself. You're doing the best you can, you're trying, and even if you can't get out of bed and you can't leave the house, it's okay. You're gonna get there eventually. You're gonna leave that house. You're gonna be happy. You're gonna have these experiences. It just takes time, and you need to be your own best friend.
You're somebody who's going through struggle right now, or if you know someone, if you have a child or somebody who's struggling right now, to make sure that you're going easy on yourself. Whether you're the one going through the struggle or someone else is, and you're not actually able to help them, and you're beating yourself up for not being able to help them. It's so important to just go easy on yourself. So how can someone go easier on themselves? Like,
understanding the fact that this is temporary. So that's first and foremost, that this will pass. Secondly, you're human. It's shocking how many people have anxiety. Yesterday, a girl I didn't know said, I'm an extrovert, but sometimes I have anxiety. And it's just funny how more and more people are, opening up about this, about having anxiety. Before, it was like this shameful thing. Oh, that's not acceptable. That's not perfect. That's not beautiful to have anxiety. I need to be like an extrovert. I need to be like everyone else. But it's okay to have anxiety. It's actually normal. Yeah. And you are normal if you have an anxiety attack. You're okay. People get them. World leaders get them. It happens.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of accepted the fact that it's gonna happen, even years ahead, but it's okay.
Yeah, I love how we were talking earlier and Mariana said, this is just gonna be with me. Like, anxiety will be with me for my life. Like there wasn't this attachment to ever being without anxiety. But how would you say, do you think your anxiety levels are the same as they used to be? Or do you deal with them differently? Is it?
Yes, I mean, you have to deal with it differently.
Yeah.
When my anxiety was at its worst, where I couldn't leave my house, I was a professional at canceling plans with my friends and family. I would come up with the most elaborate excuses to get out of those social situations.
Yeah.
And that was the problem, was me kind of trying to get rid of it. Me trying to stuff it down with Xanax, or even with a big fat glass of wine before meeting with people.
Yeah.
I would try to think of any kind of way to just not feel it anymore, to not experience it, to avoid it. And that's why a lot of people stop leaving their homes, because they're afraid of having that anxiety attack in that place again. Just had to stop trying to get rid of it. And like it was enemy number one. That's how I saw it in my head before.
Wow.
But then realizing that it's part of me, and I can't, if I keep on resisting this thing, it's going to persist in my life and grow bigger and bigger and completely take over my life, which it did for a while.
I love how you said that earlier. We were talking and Mariana said it's like, it's this small part of me. It's like this teeny part of me.
Yeah.
And then there's like the rest of me.
Yeah.
But when you're fighting it, it can seem very big.
Oh yeah, it feels like that's gonna be your whole life. It's just hiding from the world, anxious all the time.
Yeah.
You feel that, you think that way in the time, but it's kind of, you need to step back from it. You need that awareness. Is what you teach people, is to take a breath and see that, okay, it is just a little part of me. It's just a facet of myself. And if I take a step back, you can see that and be like, this isn't all of me. And this won't be all of me. There's more to come. There's more to find. And
what would you say to someone who is canceling plans a lot and they want to go out, but they cancel plans?
yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard because I know the feeling of being left out. Oh my God. I mean, I would be in my room crying that I didn't go to that party and hating myself because I didn't do it. Oh my God, Mariana, you're such a disappointment. I can't believe you didn't do that. That's where really being your own friend is so important, because you need to be there and be like, okay, Mariana, you didn't go to that party. Yeah, they know they could be having a good time, not gonna lie. But there's gonna be more parties. And when you show up to those parties, when you kind of mended this wound, you're gonna be like the queen of the party. You're gonna be like, I'm here, and there's no stopping you after that.
Which is what blows me away, and seeing this gorgeous woman. I mean, seriously, I could see in her when we would sit, and we worked together for 1.5 years, I think. And I could see in Mariana, it's definitely part of, we all have gifts. Part of my gift is that it's very easy for me to see the light in someone, even in the temporary challenge that they're going through. And so I could always see this. I couldn't picture exactly what your manifestation, what your freedom would look like. And so but I could feel it. I feel it in every person. So seeing you come to life and seeing you, like we were seeing all these butterflies earlier, it's like seeing you come out of that cocoon and just be your unique version. I'm like, God, she is the queen of the party. And so if you, and not that that's the goal, I really want to say, like, if you might be the person when you break through your anxiety, which is possible for you. It's not only possible, it's your destiny if you choose, to, like Mariana was saying, really befriend yourself and put that first, put that priority in your life.
One thing that this teaches you is compassion. Because you're suffering, you can see other people suffering, and that's why people are drawn to you. Because it's like, oh, you can see me? You see what's happening? Oh, good. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't have to fake it around you. So, but I was a great faker. I mean, I could really mask it. And that's what a lot of people with anxiety try to do. They mask it, the veneer, the makeup, everything they can do to just hide it and cover it up. But it's going to come out. And when it does, because you've been keeping it back for so long, it's going to be like a tsunami. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
And vicious anxiety attack that kind of wakes you up. Like, oh, okay, I can't do that anymore.
If you choose to go into a party, do you go authentically, translucently?
I started to tell people, it took me years, not gonna lie, to tell my best friends, people that have known me forever, that I had anxiety. Because, you know, you tend to make excuses. You feel ashamed of it. So you do not want to let people know that you have this. The moment I started telling people that I had anxiety attacks, they were shocked. Like, what? Wait, that one time we were in and out, you had a panic attack? Wait, you were fine. You were laughing. And I was like, you know, I was totally freaking out. Inside, I was like a mess. But I'm just amazing at hiding it. So when I kind of revealed that to my friends and my family, they were more supportive in a way. When I went out, they were like, do you want to leave? Are you okay? We can leave, you know. And some people don't get it. Some people will be like, oh my God, what a flake. She never goes out. And that's okay. I mean, some people will get it, some people won't. As long as you understand, as long as you're there for yourself, and you can be like, okay, do you want to leave, Mariana? We can leave. It's all good if we leave.
So awesome. And that's so important to hear. Some people will fall away, right? And some people you'll become way closer to. But you have nothing to lose when you just show up as yourself, because if nothing else, you have your own friendship. You said something so powerful earlier about having your own back.
I have a side of myself I call Shaniqua.
Yeah.
And she is powerful and amazing. And there was a woman I met called Shaniqua, and I met years and years ago, before my anxiety really took over. And she always comes to mind when I start to feel like an anxiety attack happening. Instead of being like, no, push it down, I kind of be like, what would Shaniqua do? And Shaniqua would be like, girl, it's okay. It's okay. What do you want? Do you want some water? Do you want some? Okay, drink some water. Do you want to like go to the bathroom? Go to the bathroom. It's okay. Who cares? That girl is not even looking at you. Don't even look at that girl. You know, she literally brings me down and realizes like, who cares if people are looking at you?
Yeah.
If your face is sweating, because that's one of the things that I had, is my face would glisten, like this sheen of sweat when I had anxiety attack. I'd be like, oh my God, people can see this. Shaniqua would be like, so? It's fine, people sweat. Just go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And so I gave myself like 20 seconds. Like, do your worst, anxiety, do your worst. I'm hearing you. If you want to freak out and start, I don't know, whatever you want to do, just do it now. But you have 20 seconds. And after that, Shanique was taking over, and we're going to bring it down.
See, this is so powerful what Mariana is sharing. So you basically took it over the top. Rather than repressing the anxiety, she basically, you just unleashed, like, you're like exaggerated. Do your thing. Be extreme. And would that happen sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it would go away faster. The moment I kind of told it, it's like, oh, you want to have anxiety attack right now before my exam? Do you? Okay, fine, let's do it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it called out my bluff.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure you were there for me, but you are.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is so good. This is so good. I wrote a book called The Diamond Process. It's the work I do with clients. It's the work I've done with Mariana. But it is a 7-step process. But Mariana said something so powerful, and she said, there is no formula for your anxiety or depression or pain. Every one of us has a unique journey. Yeah. These are just like signposts of just, can you be a little kinder to yourself? Can you be radically accepting? Can you exaggerate it, express rather than repress? But there's one of the steps is called medicinal dialogue, and I found it, I still use it, I love it, it's very powerful. And it's like, how would you describe medicinal dialogue?
The first time I did it, I was like, what's happening? I am talking to a part of myself.
I'm talking to myself.
Then the first time I did it, and after we finished doing that, I was like, wow. I had no idea that I had these parts of myself that were never expressed, were never given a voice. So that was the most important part. Can you imagine what your anxiety and depression is trying to tell you right now? I always thought it's out to get me. It's out to kill me. My anxiety is out to make my life miserable. That's what my ego, gave it its voice instead of letting it speak for itself.
Wow, powerful.
And that's what MD, medicinal dialogue, does, is like, it gives it that space to speak up and tell you what it really wants and what it's really, agenda isn't trying to hurt you. It's teach you something, tell you something desperately.
Yeah. So like when that anxiety is coming up, it's like giving it a voice not only lets it speak, but it also puts you and your consciousness in a position, which is the whole purpose of the yogic path, the mindfulness path, any of that. It's just to start to awaken to the ability to see with awareness versus judgment, to see without labels, see without right and wrong, and just come into this compassionate presence that's beyond right and wrong. Like Mariana was saying, the ego is like bad, anxiety bad. It takes, it makes me less popular, it makes me less efficient. So the ego is going to try to divide things. The heart, or the diamond self, the conscious awakened self, includes everything, embraces everything. So how would you, as a treasure tool, if you're somebody who's going through anxiety or depression or pain or heartbreak or anything in your life right now, how would you suggest someone to use it? I love hearing how, because everyone who uses this is going to find their own terminology in a way.
That's exactly that. Like I said before, like I don't believe in this program is the only thing that's going to help you. I think what you offer is tools.
Yes.
Like literally, to pick this up, use this, it will help you.
Yeah.
And then one day, it's awareness. One day I do the medicinal dialogue. The other day is I do breath. It's like every day it calls for a different tool.
Yeah.
I just wish I knew it was temporary back then.
That's the nugget.
Yeah, that it's gonna be okay. You're gonna get through it. Like without a doubt. That's the thing. Without a doubt.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
What was the anxiety teaching you?
Be authentic. I think a lot of women can agree when you're little girls, you're taught to be perfect, you're taught to be prim and proper, and the veneer comes on. That's not okay, this behavior is inappropriate, blah, blah, blah. I was perfect at that. My mom was almost scared of me. She's like, you're able to restrain yourself like you're in a constant corset.
Wow.
And I really was. I was like always checking myself.
Yeah.
So anxiety was more about enough.
Right.
You really just need to be you. You need to be okay with the mess. You need to be okay with the
Be okay
sweaty
with
palms.
the mess. Be okay with the sweaty palms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not okay with it still, 100%. I'll be honest. No.
Yeah.
Sometimes my palms sweat and I'm like, oh God,
Yeah.
I have to shake this person's hand in 5 seconds. Why? But it was powerful to be like, my palms sweat. Nice to meet you.
How freaking amazing. And what was it before?
I stopped doing things that would involve shaking hands.
Wow.
I would avoid those situations like I used to.
You didn't want to go to the retreat.
Oh no, because the one thing that stopped me almost stopped me was holding hands while we blessed the food.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, Veronica, I don't think I could do this. I have to hold those hands.
Yeah. So in the past, maybe not going to a party, not going to a retreat, God forbid somebody feels the sweaty palms, to today, my palms sweat. Nice to meet you.
It's like, you'll be comfortable with it. Don't expect to be okay tomorrow.
Right.
I wish it was that case where you can wake up, you're like, yes, revealed. I'm okay with being who I am right now.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes time.
If nothing else in this video, if you could really take what Mariana just said, and may this be an invitation for you to invite the whole messy, marvelous, magnificent you to breathe and to see the light and to come out and to be who you are. Or if you feel like being indoors and you feel like just not letting anyone see your face, just being okay with that, being gentler with yourself. I mean, it's so powerful.
Everyone has those days.
Everyone has those days.
Yeah.
What are your last words that you'd like to share in your heart?
I guess I always wondered what I would say to my younger self that was going through depression and that was thinking of ending it all.
Yeah.
My God, you could have missed out on those amazing times, Mariana. You could have missed out on the retreat. You could have missed out on meeting Veronica. You could have missed out on, laughing and crying and taking the good and the bad together. Like, that's life. And I'm getting emotional.
Yeah.
But, I'm proud of you, whoever you are that's challenged by this, because you're doing it. And it's okay if you're inside the house and you can't get out. Or it's okay. I'm really proud that you're still sticking with it. And I know that we're going to see you tomorrow, because I know that you can do this. I know it's hard and it's a real bitch, excuse my language, but it will make you the strongest person ever. You're gonna kill it at life. You really will.
Oh my God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for rising up in the truth of who you are, for having the courage to break through, for trusting the path, for being patient with yourself, for awakening to greater compassion, to saying yes to life even when it's freaking scary as heck at times, and for letting yourself be so freaking magnificent, for really giving yourself permission to shine.
Thank you, Veda, for the work that you're doing, because, like, without a doubt, without you, I don't know where I would be. Like, and yeah, it's so important what you're doing. I know you know that. You're a born leader. You've got this, but it's just amazing. I wish everyone could have had a Veronica in that challenging time.
To someone who doesn't have a quote-unquote Veronica in their life, like what?
Oh, you have to be your own Veronica then. Like, it's a bitter pill that I had to swallow growing up. My family around me, they weren't the pillars of strength. The wells were dry. I was out in the desert. I'm like, I'm gonna die out here without a sip of water, without anything, no guidance, no support.
Yeah.
That's when you really know your true worth, your true strength, and you will show up. That consciousness, that divinity, that it will come to you when you most need it. When you're on your knees, and I would pray and pray and pray and pray, it will show up.
Be your own best friend. Be your own deepest love in your life, and everything else flows from there. I'm so grateful to you with all my heart.
Oh, I love you. I love you too.
Mwah! I love you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I will see you very, very soon. May you take a deep breath and know that the universe has got your back.